Andre Stevens and Pearnel Charles. Well, not Andre Stevens and Pearnel Charles. Andre Stevens and class prefect or Headboy. Headboy called it. And you know, the previous conversation was about the Chinese. Well, both things, is extremely relevant. But I want to start from here. Listen to this, guys. Listen to this, because we are in trouble. Remember to hit the like button, share the live. If you're not yet subscribed to the platform, I would encourage you to, because this is a great platform, man. Not tooting my own horn, but hey, I do put in that work. So let's hear this.
Here, Jamaica. Look there, Passport Immigration Authority. Peacock under the auspices of who? Horace Chang.
Lord of mercy.
How them get in here to be operating in the country? Performing commerce. Yeah, what this one your name Spark? Yes, Sparks. Sparks.
Spark.
Courtney, if them unaccounted for and them they're all over. So there's no documentation of them.
No.
Wrong thing, producer. There is no documentation of them.
No.
So that means, can you imagine what else in the country there's no documentation of? Right. So that means the government don't know how many of them are here.
No, there's another concern that when listening and to Andre came to me. What a beautiful deal the Chinese have got. Most of the vehicles out here are Chinese made. The Chinese are responsible for making our roads. Our roads are in a terrible condition, and here comes the Chinese with a fix for vehicles. They will have business. They won't have any issue with business. What they're doing is, they are benefiting from their automotive technology and all of that, while destroying the mechanic. The Jamaican mechanics are going to be out of business, and the roads that they are responsible for building spark. Well, it's not sparking now, is it? They're gonna be making a ton of money off the bad roads that are already here. Customers are going to be just, this is the best deal. And you hear Andre talking about them not paying tax. How much you wanna bet that that's true? How much you wanna bet that they really aren't paying tax and they don't even have permits? How much you wanna bet that they don't really have a background check on any of these individuals? I didn't even want to go in and about. It's just questions that I have. Isn't that a sweet deal? They make the cars, they ship them here, they already made the money off that. Then they come, set up shop here, have businesses that are here to fix the cars. Because Jamaican people are incompetent and they are not good mechanics and they don't have nothing. We are not protected. Our jobs are not protected. Every day under this government I just want to go and live somewhere else. Honestly. I cannot wait for them to call the election. They have to be ushered out. Honestly. And Marky G, General, yo, man, tell them. Open and listen to we the people. Right? Because when you're going up power, we have to go fix things expeditiously.
The government don't know how many of them are here. I tell you, say the next time and a Ruby are coming up.
You better know.
Me tell you, Jamaica, the next time and a Ruby are come. In China, no country can set up business like that. You have to partner with a Chinese to set up a business in China.
That's protecting the citizens.
But in Jamaica, Look, this is undocumented immigration, you know. This is undocumented immigration. So that means the government of Jamaica don't know how many Chinese natives are in your country. You think is the Secretary of State coming? You think is the Secretary of State coming? The Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, man. He might go come next.
Good night to you and your listeners. I'm sorry to interrupt you in the middle of the program, but this is Horace Chang and Pearnel Chang. Tell them to stop playing with the Jamaican public as if they don't know what is happening. Let me tell you what is happening. There's a 27-story development that is being done in Montego Bay. Yes? Called a particular name.
The Pinnacle. The Pinnacle. Call it the Pinnacle.
Ooh.
By the way, do you know that that name should be protected because Pinnacle is where the origination of Rastafari come from?
Yes.
So they should not have that name. The Rastafarian community should be taking them to court. The owner of it, one of the developers in the group, Ying Sing, who was the vice chair for the Chamber of Commerce in Montego Bay. You hear what I said?
Yes.
The man can't even speak English good enough. When the project started, at the breaking ceremony, there was Edmund Bartlett,
yes,
and Horace Chang, and Horace Chang,
and Andrew Holness.
I did my research. Do you know that this guy is in charge of all the Chinese in the West? And do you know that they all are supporting the Jamaica Labour Party?
Not surprised.
And let me go further and say that they have started even reaching out to some PNP people because they sense that the government is going to change, hoping that the PNP will be favorable to them.
Marky G. Where PJ did say a black man time now, Marky G. PNP will not do not. And I repeat, do not make any deals with the Chinese. Alright? Don't make no deal with them. Let's continue.
In bed with them.
A lot of the Chinese you see operating from in the West, they're under the control, it is alleged, of Horace Chang. And that is why he has not moved from national security. So his role is to give them the approvals to come in.
So can you imagine, we don't know the history of these people. We don't know them if not they're prisoners coming in the country.
But this is the problem I have because the Ministry of National Security, by the way, none of us can read a Chinese police record. When you come to apply for a work permit from any country, if you're going to Barbados, if you're going to Antigua, Cayman, you need to present a police record. I can tell you something. In most of the instances, none of these Chinese persons who are applying for work permits are presenting any police record to the Ministry of Labour. You hear what I said?
Yes.
None. They're not presenting none. And what Lion Pearnel Charles Jr. must stop though is stop trying to obfuscate and play games because Monday the envelope is going to be sent to the Ministry of Labour to a particular individual who works in the work permits department who only deals with Chinese. That's why the worker would have called out saying give the person the money but he don't get it all now.
Oh,
there's a serious thing happening at the Ministry of Labour, that nobody is paying attention to. Yeah?
Yes.
Work permits are being approved without it doesn't go on the minister's desk to be approved.
Wow.
Yeah? Or the department that deals with it. The next thing which is nasty, at the same Ministry of Labour, there's a bedrock of corruption down there, right? Because if the work permit is happening at the same time, while at the same time, building stamp. Yeah, it's been approved. So let me tell you, let me not say nothing more. The Auditor General's report on that Ministry of Labour and Social Security is going to be damning. And Pearnel, you said it come to Jamaica because you want to serve and you work in New York. Ask the question, teacher, why is so much building stamp going on Easter and St. Thomas?
Repeat that.
And why so much building stamp is being approved in Easter and St. Thomas for houses that have never been damaged by hurricane. But the people of North and Southwest St. Elizabeth can't get no help.
Help. We need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights. We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need it. We need it. Help. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength. Is a liberator.
Pearnel Charles Judah needs to come answer to these allegations. These are extremely serious allegations.
From buried. Yeah?
My God.
If you check it,
Yeah.
go and check the Ministry of Labour. We have the most building stamps been approved in Eastern St. Thomas. The seat, the sister of the sitting Minister of Labour and Social Security. What do you think Pearnel said him under Labour and Social Security? You think so because of a nice ministry? You think so because they want to be is the ministry the most thieving going on in Jamaica?
My gosh. Yeah,
And the biggest hustling. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I am saying, where is Waiver Lines? Waiver Lines is the opposition spokesperson and Labour. Should be out on this already because the Chinese, what they're doing at the Ministry of Labour and Teacher is a feeding tree. Mark me word, is a feeding tree. And it's a feeding tree for the Charles family because they believe they own that ministry.
My God.
You realize it's the only ministry Pearnel Charles Jr. second long, you know?
Cause everywhere I'm going feeling night.
And they send him there because the daddy is guiding him. Since he has become minister, the only time he hears so much farm work yard I sell, you know. I mean, I say nothing more.
Where you say I sell?
farm work yard.
Farm work yard I sell.
Allegedly.
So I am pointing out to these things. So Pearnel Charles is in, I'm just trying to make the point. Pearnel is in no way, shape, or form to come and address nothing going to work for me. They know that Horace Chang has been using his influence as many. And by the way, a lot of these Chinese are married to Jamaicans. You know what that means, eh? Some of them depend on the voters list.
What you say?
Marriage to a Jamaican.
We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help.
No way, shape, or form to come and address nothing going to work for me. They know that Horace Chang has been using his influence as many. And by the way, a lot of these Chinese are married to Jamaicans. You know what that means, eh? Some of them depend on the voters list.
Hey.
What you say?
By virtue of marriage to a Jamaican,
Yeah.
a Chinese after 2 to 3 years can acquire citizenship and is given the right to vote.
Lord Jesus.
Hold on there. Oh, we can do that. Oh, we can do that at
So,
time.
Horace, so when you hear Andrew Williams and him friend them say, third term loading, yeah? Particularly in the West, because I don't know about Kingston and St. Andrew very well where the Chinese are concerned. I know about the West. So constituencies like Southern St. James, East Central St. James, yeah? A lot of these seats in St. James have Chinese, an influx of Chinese, and particularly this development, Pinnacle, yeah?
So about how much people them have? How many Chinese you think them have a developed Pinnacle?
Teacher, based upon my information, right? Pinnacle has over 200 workers over there. Yeah?
200.
Over 200 workers. And remember, this is not their only development. Yeah? By the way, the same owners of Pinnacle, they control all the distribution chain from Montego Bay to Mandeville.
Really? So them powerful?
That is what I'm telling you. Every single Chinese they sell, if they not get approval from the man in Pinnacle, then get nothing. Then can't sell. And his position is further strengthened because he's a financier of the Labour Party in the West.
What you say name?
Ying Sang Lee.
Ning Sang Lee.
Ying Sang Lee. Look it out. LCH Development. I'm going to send you the website right
Ying Sang Lee.
LCH Development. If you type in Pinnacle, you will see it. Right? And by the way, these Chinese, and I'm not accusing them of it, but it is a known fact that the biggest money launderers in Jamaica are the Chinese.
What?
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Hey! So all the money not got through the system.
Go through what?
Somebody called me today and said them him know somebody where operate one rat.
People don't hear that. You know, it's an allegation, but when you think about it, is it possible? Why we in trouble, boy?
Hey! So all the money not got through the system.
Them of it, but it is a known fact that the biggest money launderers in Jamaica are the Chinese.
What?
They don't bank their money, sir.
Hey! So all the money not got through this.
You know, I've always wondered why the Chinese stores them always have the best rate them for US dollars. Have you guys ever noticed that? Better than the Cambia. They really want those US dollars. I wonder why. I'm just making an observation, you know.
System.
But through what?
Somebody called me today and said him know somebody where operate one rat it Cambia they quote me. And nobody know about the Cambia them way and the Cambia operate.
Yeah. Because what they're looking for, you know, they're looking to purchase the USD, and once they have that USD, it moves in droves. Yeah. So a lot of the time, a shipping container come, a shipping container go. Money comes in material form, but the raw cash is sent out. Yeah. There was a split between these Chinese, right? I know in depth, and I'm not going too deep tonight, teacher.
No, go there. You have 5 minutes more.
Right. They were warring. And one of the Chinese told me, I met with him, and he said to me, stay far from these guys. I said, why are you saying that? The man said, Virgin, let me tell you something. It's straight money laundering these guys are involved. Don't even exclude the fact that some of these Chinese are involved in the drug trade.
Drug
That's
trade?
what he said to me. I said, what is it? He said, hold on. And this is a Chinese telling me this, you know. Yeah?
Hey.
Him saying that the reason why he knows for a fact, they were the Chinese that he's telling me about, him and that person, a business partner. And him said that he knows for sure that they're involved in money laundering and they're involved in the drug trade. Because look what, in order to wash the money, yeah, they have to do developments.
Oh, the real estate.
Fentanyl. Do you realize why America is sanctioning China right now? Because the implements for the fentanyl, yeah, everything to produce the fentanyl is coming from China.
Really?
So we think it's controlling the fentanyl trade. You think it's the Mexicans? No, sir. Go and check it. It's the Chinese.
That's why they want.
Ball out! Whoa, we need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman. If a politician, if a liar, come from the doctor, come from Simon, anywhere he come from, reverse the order, reverse the order, break sure, we're coming through, reverse the curse, send back the order. Reverse the curse. Send back the order. Where he come from, anywhere he come from. If a Jamaica, if a Clarendon, if a St. Thomas he come from, St. Mary, send it back. Send it back. We don't want to hear ya. Come out of Jamaica.
You don't want it in here. Come out of Jamaica and send that back. Believe.
China.
Really?
So you think it's controlling the fentanyl trade? You think it's the Mexicans? No, sir. Go and check it. It's the Chinese.
That's why they want to control the war.
Once you have access to port, you have access to where goods go. And one of the strategic point of exit for Jamaica is that Jamaica has access to the Panama Canal. Once you have access to the Panama Canal, you know where you're ending? Europe. Just imagine the value of 1 kilo of that white lady in the US. It's maybe about 600, 700,000. You know when they reach Netherlands, how much it value?
No, tell me.
1.5 to 2 million.
My God.
So don't think that these Chinese are, and let me tell you, I don't have nothing against China, but a lot of them in Jamaica, I'm virgin them, yeah? But the truth be told, We need to weed out the bad actors. And the JLP has hung up a lot of these persons that are of questionable character. Do you know you have prisoners working in Jamaica?
Prisoners? Where them working?
Prisoners.
The China Harbour Engineering Company must come tell us how it is that they negotiated with the JLP in their last negotiation for the highway that they did. Right? A lot of their negotiation was 60-40. They said 60% of the workers must be theirs.
What?
And a lot of the workers were working on the sites doing basic labor. You hear me say basic labor, duties that basic labor could do. Yeah? Like steel, run black. Yeah?
Yes.
This was the work they were doing.
Wow.
So we know for a fact that a lot of these Chinese, a lot of them
are prisoners
from China Harbour Engineering Company, and there have been documentary to show that some of them are prisoners because none of them have been able to present. And I asked the Ministry of Labour if they think I'm lying. Come show us one worker from China Harbour Engineering Company that has presented to your police record. One.
What can go so?
This is serious, you know.
Forced labor, we are on. That is why Jamaica, there was so much effort from the United Nations with the Jamaica in dealing with this forced labor issue, because they realize that the Chinese is using the opportunity.
Yes.
You know, a lot of using the opportunity that they have in Jamaica to bring about this thing. Because when you take up a man from China, you don't know nothing about him. You put him to work, right? And in most instances, what they're doing, they're encouraging the marriages, teacher. That is one of the things that people have to
understand. The marriages, but I hear them paying the Jamaicans to marry them.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to get to. It's pay the pain. So they get the citizenship after a while and then branch off into what they want to do. But I'm not going to stay along with you because I don't want to take up the program. But all I have to say is, you, Chang, you. That's how long is a Chinese man? Father, how long?
But I want to give you another perspective. Chinese men don't need permit to work on Chinese land. Don't it? Chinese men don't need permit to work on Chinese land.
What can go so?
Emotional damage.
Chinese men don't need permit to work on Chinese land. Huh? Play that back.
What do I mean by that? You remember the 1,200 acres of land where Oldness give to the Chinese them in Miami Bay? If the land is given to the Chinese, Courtney, technically it's for them land. So they don't need Jamaican to work on it. Am I telling a lie or am I telling a truth? So what the Chinese do is an asset trap.
Yes.
It's an asset trap, you know, because technically what them tell us, right there, so I mine China hardware engineering of mine. So seeing that me have them piece of something in my people have to work here.
You know what I want to tell the People's National Party when it goes to government? But I know there are some people in the PNP who are listening to me now who are shaking in their boots because they're not certain if I will call their names.
We all know them were under Chinese influence in the PNP.
Right.
And I hope Mark Golding don't give them that power and leverage when it turn minister.
All I can say to the People's National Party is it is time come now to deal with this trap that the Chinese have put us in. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
In Antigua and Barbuda, when Lester Bird, as I go, became Prime Minister, he had done an investment with the Americans and they were cussing that all them want about this and them want about that. Lester Bird said, well, when they don't put on the airport,
there's another thing. Wait. There's another thing. Jamaica, listen to this, you know, because it's very interesting. Another thing we must consider that if they are not prisoners, they are military.
Absolutely, and that is what worries Washington.
Repeat that.
Oh, lady. You see that? Jamaica, I want serious conversation. Andrea Headboy, I was saying, you know, man said, if they are not.
That is what
I think we must consider that if they are not prisoners, they are military.
Absolutely, and that is what worries Washington.
Repeat that.
That is what worries Washington, because what Washington has pointed out. Do you know that a part of the discussion that Andrew Holness is not saying to the country in Rubio's visit, because we're on it? Do you know between Angels to Miami Bay in St. Ann, it is alleged by the Americans that under the road there are cable surveillance systems that were put under the road. Meaning cables that can connect back the Chinese to Jamaica, meaning them can communicate. Yeah?
What you say?
Communicate.
Cable?
Meaning the cables.
Wow.
They run underground connection.
Cables!
One of the discussion I heard from a prominent person, and the person have no reason to lie to me. He said one of the things is that the Americans want the road dig up.
Oh, they want the road dig. I hear that argument, you know. Say Rubio want that highway dig up, you know. I didn't even hear say Trump say want to get it for himself.
My God.
They will repave the road.
So when they dig up the road and I put in, when them put in them something there?
Remember that the Americans have good technology. They have a sense that there is spyware that has been placed under the road. Remember why Ukraine and Russia is warring, you know? Because of an encroachment on the Ukraine-Russia border.
Yes.
It's the same thing happening now. The Cold War in Cuba started because what? Missiles were brought to Cuba. Yeah? Jamaica is being used as a launching pad for a Chinese attack on the United States.
Mighty God! So yes, what you say? Jamaica
is being used as a launching pad for an attack on the United States. And not that I support the United States, because everybody knows me as a pro-Venezuelan Cuban socialist.
Hey!
What you cannot have in your backyard is an enemy of your closest neighbor and ally that you also have relative living in, getting that level of influence. Because don't make no mistake, where you think Xi Jinping can talk so rough now to Trump? Because within Trump's backyard, he controls all of the leaders.
So that's so wait. So them tanker, the 12 tanker. Who for the 12 tanker with their Jamaica? Are the government of Jamaica or the government of China? Who? Talk to me.
Well, I am not certain about the tanker. You know, one thing with me, teacher, if I'm not certain about something, I'm not afraid to say it. But my best judgment would be that those are Chinese assets. Because let me tell you why. Remember, one of the things that they did, you know, that Jamaica started doing, was also partnering with the Chinese for equipment for the army.
Yes.
That has never happened in our history. Our traditional partners were Canada, the UK, and the USA.
Yes.
Yeah?
And them start take equipment from China.
No, the Foreign Affairs Ministry building, I don't want to get on it because I know the contractor who built it, and he's a good guy. It's a guy who lived in Jamaica, been in Jamaica for a long time, but I would never send an email through that building to anybody. You hear me say? Not even an email. Yeah? Do you understand what the Chinese got? The Chinese that are now operating in Jamaica got a direct order from Beijing. Expand westward. And that is what they're doing.
Expand westward.
They're expanding westward. And they're not going to stop this expansion until we decide that enough is enough. Uno build the road. Uno say uno want toll, we not pay.
Wait, I am getting an intelligence. Surveillance and listening devices are embedded in the road infrastructure. Discuss here, Courtney.
But I tell you, and I got my intelligence. I'm a good person who knows.
Mighty God!
But you see, too, teacher, we have to be balanced in our discussion. Because I blame the United States of America, our closest neighbor. Because for years, they have not done any investment in the Caribbean. You have some good companies in Washington, in Atlanta, and all over the place that do construction, heavy equipment companies, that could have come and partnered with us and do some of the roads. Is now that them back against the wall, them coming to say, let's negotiate and let's do some other things. But the Chinese were already creeping in long time. So they should have come with their purse to say, let the biggest spender win. Yeah? But all I can say...
But you realize that all of this has really morphed and catapulted in the last 9 years though, you know.
No, because, and let's make no mistake about it. Who do you think brought the Chinese to Jamaica?
You tell us.
You want us to go back there? You remember them big stone of them talk about going out to Palisados? That was the first project China Harbour Engineering Company did in Jamaica with a company called YPC and Associates.
Oh, YPC, Lord Labour, right?
At the time, let me go. Mike Henry. And Mike, me not lick you, because you know I'm a friend. I'm not afraid to say something.
I know Bangarang soon start with him.
Mike was the Minister of Transport. Remember there was a visit in China by Mike?
Yes, when he was Transport Minister 2016.
I remember we had a road program named
JDIP. That was the most scandalous and most corrupt road infrastructure program. JDIP.
that was how China Harbor Engineering came to Jamaica against the backdrop of corruption.
Jaded.
Yeah.
I remember the container with the furniture then. You remember the furniture
Yes.
then? Mm-hmm.
James Robertson and Mike Henry had fallen for that. Because they remember once a minister want good furniture in the office and once a minister can't live in a squalor.
Oh yes.
Yeah?
And the time the $60 million house, I remember it, man.
Yeah, let about your house for then take from him.
My
Yeah.
God.
So I am reminding Jamaicans that it is the JLP who brought. So these Chinese that operating in Jamaica are mostly JLP associated Chinese because their introduction to Jamaica came from the JLP. Yeah. So the Chinese that Portia met when she went to meet with Xi Jinping in China.
Yeah.
Right. The JLP had already solidified relationship with some of these Chinese. The same Chinese that West Yaga used to cuss in the 70s and 80s. Eh?
Yes.
But teacher,
Thank you for that insightful conversation with me. Jamaica,
Ball out! Whoa! We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them.
People, that is a lot to digest. I have so many questions based off those allegations. But I'm gonna leave you guys to storm up the comment section. I really wanna hear what you think about this conversation between Andre and Headboy. This one is a little different. Jamaica is supposed to be a launching pad for a war between China and America, allegedly. Underground wires, taps for communication, lands allocation, historical corruption, prisoners, gangs, money laundering, drugs, allegedly. Ooh, this is a lot. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Lord have mercy. And remember to hit that like button. I had to put this one together. Sheesh. Shout out to Andre Stevens. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to Pdtv News Jamaica. Real talk. Wow.